Hey guys, so I just want to make a quick video on the basics of meditation and how to start a practice, as well as just a few tips. The first thing that I want to cover is posture. Posture is really important, but you don't have to be sitting in a lotus position, also known as Indian style. So I called it in kindergarten at least. You can accomplish the same thing sitting in a chair as you can sitting cross-legged. So if sitting cross-legged isn't comfortable for you, you have nothing to worry about, and that doesn't stop you from being an effective meditator. The one thing that is important though is having a straight and erect back. What this is doing is communicating with your body to your mind that you are alert and awake. And so when it helps your concentration, as well as keeping you from falling asleep when you start to get in deeper states of meditation. So one thing you can do is, if you are in a chair, it's often uncomfortable just to sort of sit like this with your back straight. So you can just pile pillows, or like 2 pillows or whatever, behind your back just to keep them straight. Also, if you are sitting in a lotus position, you're going to want to at least have your butt above your waistline, so your blood flows down your knees, and so your legs get blood. Otherwise, they're going to fall asleep really fast. No matter what, your legs are going to fall asleep at first. Just play around with different positions, switch around from the half lotus to the quarter lotus. If you don't know what that is, I'm going to have a link down below, or I'm going to put it in the description on my Tumblr or wherever you're viewing this. That about covers posture. The next is, once we're sitting, what are some techniques we can use? Well, I practice something that's often referred to as samatha vipassana. Samatha in Sanskrit stands for concentration. Vipassana stands for insight or see insight. But basically, it's all the same thing. Just there's a few different translations. I like to start off people who ask me how to practice with 2 different techniques. One is the breath, and there are 2 ways that you can focus on the breath. The first being, you can focus on a single area of your breath. So you can focus on the air passing through your nose and just stay in the nose. You can focus in your throat, you can focus in your chest and the lungs expanding and contracting, or you can focus in your mouth. Just find one area where you are aware of the sensation of breath and keep your concentration there. When your awareness wanders, you intentionally bring your awareness back to the sensation or feeling of the breath, not the thoughts about the breath. Thoughts may be there, and that's okay. We aren't trying to shut down thoughts or push them away, which is a common misconception. You're just trying to exercise non-attachment to them. So allow them to do their thing and invite as much awareness into the breath. So the second way to work with the breath is to follow the breath. Follow it through the nose, down the throat, watch the lungs expand and contract, and then watch it come out of your mouth. And that about covers it for the breath. The second, which is one of my favorite techniques for developing concentration, is focusing on the gray scale in front or behind your eyes where your eyelids are closed. If you're outside, it could be red, orange, yellow, white. This is often referred to as the white kasina, red kasina, yellow kasina, or black kasina. And just invest as much awareness as possible into what it visually looks like. There may be movement, there may be shifting, you may fall into visual thoughts, so sort of like dreamlike images. And if that happens, just try and look through the image to the blackness or grayscale. Your mind may wander into mental chatter, physical body sensations, external sound, etc. And when that happens, just bring your awareness back to that visual blank, that blank scale, and that is concentrating on that area, and that's developing concentration. And your mind is going to wander, and it's important not to judge yourself when that happens. Instead of looking at it as a problem, look at it as a solution or an opportunity to increase your concentration power. Every time you become aware that you have wandered, you are having a mini awakening in consciousness. You are aware that you have lost control of your awareness, and you can now intentionally bring it back to the area, which is exercising a new pattern behavior of focusing. And so the more you the more you come back, the less you wander. And the less you wander, the deeper you can go into sensation. And this develops concentration at first, but when you start exercising the Vipassana techniques, the deeper you go into sensation, that's where the insights happen. And it's really interesting, and it's really healing, and it makes the bad things not as bad and the good things better. I know that's a interesting promise, and I would be skeptical. I was skeptical the first time I heard it, but it's definitely proven true in my life, at least, and many others that I've talked to and do this with. And so yeah, that's pretty much the basics. Oh, I forgot. So basically we are building the skill of concentration. And you can look at this practice of Vipassana or mindfulness, however you want to call it, as developing 3 different skills. One is concentration, which can be looked at as being able to stay with what's relevant. 2 is sensory clarity, which can be used as sort of like how clear each sense is and how deep into the sense you can get. And by that I mean sight, sound, body sensation, internal and external, for a lack of better terms. And then the 3rd is equanimity, which is being okay with allowing things to go or come without push or pull. And that's what I meant by the good things get better and the bad things aren't as bad. And that's just because you become more equanimous with the bad sensations, and then you become less attached to the positive sensations. And so when the bad sensations come, you aren't desiring for them to go away. And when the good sensations start going away, you aren't clinging on for them, wanting them to stay, even though they're going to inevitably go away. That's just some basics. If you have any questions, feel free to message me, and I hope this has helped you in your practice in some way. Bye.